All right, Abzan hero, superhero friends, like heroes and friends. We got a bunch of planeswalkers in here. This is a deck that was submitted that we kind of tuned and tweaked a little bit that I've really liked what this deck is doing. So one of the things we talked about yesterday when we were playing Esper Hero and felt underwhelmed by it was that it didn't feel like Esper really gives us the tools to leverage the tokens from the hero, and this deck leverages tokens in two different ways. The first is that Vraska Golgari Queen can turn extra tokens that we generate into cards that we just draw. And the second is that Tristani Discordant is a card that makes those tokens bigger, so they have a better presence inside of combat to pressure the opponent out of the game. I also really like Tristani in a deck like this because the mid-range decks in this format tend to have a hard time against Sultai because of specifically Thief of Sanity and Hostage Taker. So the fact that we have copies of Tristani to fight those cards on an axis that they normally don't get fought on, I think is a really big deal. We also have a lot of various Planeswalkers and Seraph and Scales Midnight Reaper to like grind out some miscellaneous value here and there. So I think in relation to a lot of the other mid-range decks in the format, this deck Sultai matchup isn't as bad in comparison to a lot of the other ones. I don't know that I would stretch to call it good, but we have tools to be successful there. I'm not really sure that Land War Elves is ramping us efficiently, and contorting the mana to play a green spell consistently on one doesn't sound worthwhile. Goodbye to my wild cards. I'm jamming this deck right now. I am. You could probably call me the destroyer of wild cards. We definitely drain an exceptional number of those on this channel. Well, I am not confident that my version's better, so I'm going to take a click, Dude Light. Tithe Taker's interesting. That card's super reasonable. You have some similar conclusions to what we came to. I'm definitely not married to Amara. She's been kind of middling, so I could see Tithe Taker being better than her. All right, we get to test our... We get to get put under the gun and test our Sultai theory right off the bat. Hey, Happy Kazum. Thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one. Welcome, welcome. Was really hoping to hit our fourth land there. It's possible that the land count in this deck is one light. 24 or 25 that we're on. We're on 23. Yeah, I might want a 24th land in this deck, just because we do want to get to 4 with some consistency. And right now, I think there's a good chance we struggle to do that. Yeah, you were actually up. The one that someone linked that said they got to Mythic with it, they were actually on 24 lands, which does not surprise me. Yeah, we're gonna make that change after this match. We're gonna cut a spell for a land. So they have infinite mana. In fact, honestly, I feel like there's a chance that I just like cut both the Amaras and like just play 25 lands. Like add like a basic and a utility land. 5, 8. This Hydra is gonna be huge. Keep up the great content. Roddy LFW, thanks for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to beat that having stumbled. Like, if we'd have already had Seraph in play, we'd have had a shot maybe, but... I guess if we curve Seraph into Tristani here, maybe we could do okay. This is actually an okay draw because it means that I can send all of these... Imperiouses at Vivien, and any of that they kill, we get to draw cards. That's really unfortunate.
Scars are lessons written in skin.
So, Chewy, the problem with Flower Flourish is that Flower Flourish isn't fixing in a 3-color deck, and in order to have enough black sources efficiently, we need to be playing a lot of non-basics, and Flower Flourish demands that you gum up your deck with basically more tapped lands just for the sake of triggering hero. Is there merit to shipping some of the 1/1s if I don't think so, just because they have these 3/2s. And, like, I thought it was likely to happen what happened, which they just, like, let her take a hit, and then they get to eat my 1/1s for free, which doesn't seem particularly appealing to me. Well, if we'd have hit a land last turn, we'd have been able to potentially play Tristani this turn, but we're still bricking off, which, again, I think is in part our fault because we don't have enough lands. But at the same time, I think the card I'm going to cut for lands is Amara, and we haven't drawn Amara yet, so even if we were on 25 lands, we'd still be bricking here. You like the Find package in the board over Vivien's? I don't think the Find package is very good. I think this deck would much rather just have... I think this deck would much rather just have Planeswalkers generate card advantage rather than trying to lean on its graveyard.
Now we're getting started. You can't stop nature.
Yeah, we originally started with 2 Find Finalities in the main deck, and they were pretty terrible the entire last session. No, they activated Vivien, they got Hostage Taker. We've got a couple of hero decks coming up. We're playing this one to start, and then we're going to play some blue-white hero after this. Some Dovin's Acuity hero. Do you have Vraska's Contempt, opponent? So I'm not going to kill Hostage Taker in this attack because this attack feels like a Find Finality. And I'm not going to kill this because if I let this live and I draw a land for Tristani, I get it back. So we'll take 4 here on this combat. Alright, it looks like they're flooding a little bit and we might end up being okay here.
Would you like to see what's left of Skull? Get that out of here.
Survey says Vivien Reid, Jellyfish Slayer, right? No, I don't really think I need to give this Vigilance. If this is living, like, there's not another basic in my deck. Assassin's Trophy, another reason to put another basic in my deck.
The wilds are my shield.
All right. Crunch. Do you have Vraska's Contempt here? Sure. Imperious Oligarch. I think it's fine to play out more things there, Be Rich, because if they're going to sweep my board, it's going to involve a finality, and those cards let me draw more cards in the event of finality. So I think it was fine to play those out. Mara's pretty bad here. Knight of Autumn's pretty bad here. Vivien is fine. I want the trophy. Planeswalker's good. I think Kaya's probably not good enough. She has exile stuff from their bin, but I think I'd rather just grind through it. She's not a meaningful removal spell, so I think I'd like to cut it. I think I like the rest of these cards. Seems reasonable. This is 8, 12, 16, 19, 22 multicolored cards. That's probably fine. Seems good. Well, my hand's a little bit slow, and their hand is not so slow.
How this comes to me.
Do I concede? I think I concede. Perfect.
Do not fear, my friend.
Maybe I'm supposed to wait on this so I can return Tocatli to play after they kill it. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible I should attack first and then get Tocatli back if they kill it inside of combat. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. We aim to please, Doc Prof.
Be strong.
Ajani puts a lot of pressure on. He adds 2 power to the table every turn, which is pretty reasonable. 2+ power. Yeah, Ajani closes up shop pretty quickly. Let's add some lands. I'm gonna cut these. And then I do like the idea of some other things lower on the curve though. I definitely want some more lands. I'm going to add a swamp and a forest. Cut a Woodland Cemetery. I think I'm going to add another utility land here. Two memorials probably fine. What does this turn the mana out to be? I really wish they still had the counts above each of these columns. I really liked that. This is 16 white. And 9, 10, 14 green is probably fine. And then 6, 10, 13, 14, 15 black. It's probably reasonable. Put this towards Legacy Mono Blue Wizards. It's my bedtime. Have a good one. Have a good one, D Prince. Will do. Thanks for the support. Yeah, I think the Memorial to Glory is fine. I kind of wouldn't mind fitting in some more 2-drops into the configuration though I'm not quite sure what I would want to cut. Owl Knight, thank you for the very generous tier 2 sub. I appreciate that. Be sure to drop me a message in private. Let me know which deck that's already in the queue you'd like to bump up as a thank you for that next level of support. I feel like if I was going to cut things, it would be like maybe this Ajani or a Vivien. Like maybe this extra Ajani belongs in the sideboard. I can get rid of this this random contempt. And I'm like, I could cut like a Mortify maybe. And like fit in, like I've got 3 Assassin's Trophies as flexible removal spells as well, and like these are kind of flexible removal spells also. And Tithe Taker just a super meaningful text box. Yeah, I like the idea of 10 2-drops, even if this one doesn't strictly have synergy with Hero. Cutting a Mortify makes this a little bit more makes it a little bit less reactive, which is kind of nice. I like that. And like, as with all decisions, I've concluded that this is probably the correct choice to make because it's visually appealing to look at my curve. Whenever you feel like decisions are close, I always go, which one of these two things is more visually appealing when I look at my deck list? And I think this is like relatively visually appealing. Got the old pile, and then a couple and a couple. Sounds wonderful. Yeah, Tithe Taker is just good in a lot of spots. It's like decent against mono blue. It's decent against control. It's good against the Nexus of Fate decks. Yeah, this is super great. And like this looks much better than having a more expensive card in my hand, right? hope you're ready to make a deep spiritual connection with Gishna, the sun's avatar. That card was a hoot when we played the Naya Thrandinos last time. I don't know if we're going to get to Thrandinos since we had someone cut something in today. We'll see how long we're going to go. I plan to run a little bit past 3 today at least to make up for ending early yesterday, but I don't know that I'm going to go past 4 or 5. We'll see what the viewer count's like. Is Tithe Taker good in Modern, seeing how linear the format is? It's not because the format's linear, so people aren't really interacting with on your turn in Modern. Seeker Squire, that's interesting. They really like them some Explorers, huh? It could be old school Golgari, it could be Sultai that just like has a bigger Explore package for the sake of being good against aggro. Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised if they don't have blue lands in their deck. I would like to ogle you, please. Yeah, I agree, K-Smith. Yeah, anybody who's wondering if this card could be good in Modern, you should read the card Voice of Resurgence. It's like this card on crack. It's much better. It's not strictly better. It's just different, but it's kind of absurd. Chupacabra, rude. That's much better than Tithe Taker, or than Hostage Taker against us. Voice of Resurgence. Hey, Mike the Knight, thank you for the 19-month resub. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Man, Tristani puts the pressure on. Next turn we can Mortify their 2/3 so it doesn't stonewall our 2/2s. Yes, voice is not good in Modern at the moment. It's not stellar.
I've lost so much already. I won't lose more.
Do a little dance. Make a little love. Please don't finality me. Don't finality me. Not beating Finality this game, most likely. I suppose if they have Stone Cold Nothing after they Finality, we could potentially be okay, but if they have Finality plus any other amount of reasonable spells, we are super dead. The squeeze of Hostage Taker plus Finality is just, like, so impossible for a lot of these mid-range decks to deal with when they have both. It's just like, well, you either play out into their sweeper or you like hold back and then you get got by things like Hostage Taker. And if you don't play into their sweeper isn't just dead because it turns into pick 2 creatures back up. So it's like you end up in a bad spot regardless. Yeah, like here. Like they don't have to play a dedicated sweeper. They get to play this thing that's just better. I think we're probably done here at this point. That's a pretty good one. All things considered. If we hit a couple of double spell turns here on the back of this Vraska, maybe we could be okay. Howdy, thanks. We're not going to trophy at end of turn because we could draw a hero. And hero would allow trophy to make a token, which would be ideal. Get some jam. Thank you for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Thanks for dripping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate it.
I'm still here.
This Graceless draws 4 cards. again. I'm gonna wait to play this because I couldn't draw a hero. I need a hero. I really needed a double spell turn now. Not all these lands, not all these lands. Do 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 do. This is worth lots of spells now.
This is
Do 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 do. Man, are we gonna slog this out? We might be able to slog this out of the back of the Planeswalkers. Yep. Man, that's a lot of Seeker Squares. That is all of the Seeker Squares, chat. And they have sought the square. Come on, triple spell turn. Let's do it. Give me 3 pieces of action here.
So it's going to be like
All right,
that,
there's
huh?
1.
Balance comes.
There's 2. I think I take the Midnight Reaper because it equates to more grind. Did I just shoot their 3/2 here? I don't want to shoot their 3/2.
Gone. Consider it done.
All right, their Krasis is drawing 3 cards, 4 cards. Krasis for 8 is drawing 4 cards. I have the trophy to cover the Krasis. If we can find our way into a hero next turn, we could be in an okay spot. If they attack Vivien with everything, they force me to trade a Midnight Reaper for a 2/3, but then both my Planeswalkers live. No, they just choose not to search their deck mojo. Searching is optional with trophy. So I'd much rather just hold the trophy to kill the Krasis after it comes down. It does kind of suck that I bottomed to, what's it called? My 4/3s, but they gotta choose how they want to apply pressure here. They could double attack my Vraska. If they triple attack my Vraska, all right, so they're choosing to let me trade this and keep this alive, which I think is a good exchange for me.
I'm not losing everything again.
Fantastic.
Meet my newest friend.
Meet my newest friend. So what if I do this? How do we feel about sacrificing my Knight of Autumn to draw 2 cards? I think I like it. I think I'm gonna kill this, hit them for 4, and then sack this to draw 2 cards. Remember that time we thought we were really far out of this game and then we drew another Planeswalker and just like clawed our way kicking and screaming back into it? Holy crap.
I'm gonna make you suffer.
1 little, 2 little, 2 little, exile Krasis. My longest game with this deck was against Esper Control. It lasted 61 minutes. Is this Abzan tokens or walkers? Yes. It's a real shame Kaya can't exile Hydroid Krasis. Oh my gosh. Oh, why is it so good? Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Oh. Oh, are we doing it? I think we're doing it. Holy crap. that one. Get it out of here. It's okay, Jeff. I didn't need those wild cards anyways. Alright, we get to keep exiling to make the find half of their find finalities worse here. This is my Seraph. All of my planeswalkers are heading in the upward direction. They're through 3 Krasis. They're through 3 Krasis. There's one more jellyfish in their deck. Okay. Sure, you have Vivien. Vivien's not good enough. Yep. What are they drawing to if Vivien's not good enough? Like, what's the out? Is like hoping to dumpster us with the Wild Growth Walkers? Like, what are they? How does Final Krasis a problem? I got 2 things sitting in play that kill Krasis. That's what they want? Really? Okay.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
Do I even want this hero at this point? I think I want the Memorial to Folly, right? I think I actually want that.
My old skills still have their uses.
I mean, this makes a bunch of chump blockers too, right? I mean, I think they run out of threats before we run out of threats, right? And their deck's smaller than ours, although we're drawing more cards a turn now at this point. What is this targeting? My Vivien. Okay.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
Oh, that's why they bend their Vivien, because they have one of their own. Okay.
Beasts are much more reliable than you can't stop nature.
They did the dance. They did the Tristani dance. It was a dance. Do 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 do.
Till it's too late.
Do 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 do.
Watch your back from here on out.
Yep. You can't, you actually can't see their count. So they have 19 cards in their deck. The overlay doesn't count the cards in their deck for some reason. Alright, so I think I pick up Midnight Reaper here. Do I hit? Is it crazy to sack my Seraph of the Scales to draw 3 cards after I hit something here? Do I sack Seraph or Tristani? I think I'm supposed to hit Vivien, right? Is it Vivien or Vraska? think it's Vivien.
I've seen squirrels hit harder.
It's pain, power gain.
Maybe sacking Tristani's a little aggressive there.
The wilds are my shield.
Alrighty. There's a Crisis. They've got 17 cards in their deck. We've got 25.
It was probably going to die.
So, Midnight Reaper only triggers when non-tokens die. So I sacrificed a creature as opposed to one of these tokens, so I wanted to draw 2 extra cards. Because I felt like I needed to draw more gas. This has definitely been a quality game of Magic. If they have another Vraska's Contempt, we might fall behind here. How many cards do they have left in their deck? 11. Yep. Yep. If they attack here, I'm going to trade aggressively and draw a bunch of cards. So this gets Death Touch and then still leaves me enough tokens to kill this. So I'm going to put this here, I'm going to put this here, I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to stack both of these here. Give this Death Touch. I draw 6, lose 6, take 3, gain 2. So I'm going to lose 7 overall. This will kill this. The tokens will kill here. And then we'll play another Vraska out. Triggers. But Jeff, Hydroid Crisis is oppressive, Jeff. You could never beat Hydroid Crisis with other mid-range decks, Jeff.
I lead the Golgari now. Step aside, what can I say? Death is cheap.
I guess I do kind of need to be careful, because with the Midnight Reaper, they could maybe deck us. I got 18 to their 8, so we're probably okay. Watching this game play out is making me conclude that this should be another Black Memorial, though. Black Memorial would be much better here. Who's excited for games 2 and 3, by the way? This is pre-board. This is game 1. I think we're on the deck them plan, right? I think that's actually just the plan at this point. So there's 16 cards in my deck. I'm drawing 5 cards if they clear the board at the moment. This would draw 6 cards, so they're still decking before I do, so I think this is fine to play out. I'm not trophying this, because if they want to draw cards faster, I'm okay with that. No, you can't actually trophy your own cards, so trophying my Reaper's not on the table. They can't even memorial... They can't even memorial back Hydrate Krasis, because drawing with Krasis isn't optional, so Krasis would kill them. I am super impressed with this deck. One way or another, Krasis ends games of Magic. There's the all right, sure, yeah, Krasis, yep. That one, yep. You're drawing that one. I don't think we need to Vraska or Reaper, chat. The reason what I just went through is that we don't. It's fine if the Reaper lives. Seasons don't fear the Reaper. Not the sun, the wind, or rain. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, mobile version when, right? Like when are we getting a read on mobile? When you have to baby Krasis because otherwise you'll deck. Man, the Vanifear deck was so good this morning, but I think this might actually beat it for deck of the day. I think we just put in our entire sideboard no cuts next game. Just board up to like 62 or 63. Let's make sure we don't deck out first. The Vanifear deck was a standard deck. Yeah, I'll probably just flag multiples as favorites. I've done that before. Usually I only do it during exceptionally long streams, but occasionally it's just like, well, these were all too awesome, so people have to make time for both. They want to catch them all.
Time to step out of the shadows. Everyone is expendable, except me.
You got him. It's dead. You've killed him. I mean, we have a bunch of Assassin's trophies and Mortifies and Duresses, and we have an OK clock, so I have to imagine you're okay against Reclamation decks. Plot twist, we win with the Vraska Emblem. Yeah, maybe. We've definitely won with Vraska Emblem before with this deck. Is this like them setting up for finality? Like, they probably have one more finality, right? So yeah, so I'm going to draw 4 cards here and get some tokens afterwards. They're going to keep one thing, which my Vraska then kills. So like, how do they kill me before they run out of cards? They have one card in their deck. So I'm going to go down to 8 cards in my deck off of these draws. But I'm at 20, 21. Trophy to see if their last card's a basic. Oh, that was excellent. That was... Alright, well, Tocatli Honor Guard, get in my deck. Ajani, get in my deck. Vivien, get in my deck. Trophy, get in my deck. Knight of Autumn is kind of meh. Tithe Taker is kind of meh. Kaya is not great. I know she exiled Krasis in that game and was okay, but I think she's actually not the greatest in this matchup overall. Yeah, maybe Mortify is kind of meh. I have a lot of Planeswalkers to kill things too. And like, this is definitely the better, more flexible one. This seems reasonable. Steric, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This is actually our second time playing this deck on stream, so probably going to play 1 or 2 more matches after this one, depending on how long this takes, I guess. But then remember, you can always find more videos with this deck and lots of other great ones on my website, my YouTube channel. Yeah, the fact that her -1 doesn't have text, I think just makes Kaya not good enough here. Kaya's in the sideboard for fighting against Search for Azcanta flipping, as well, or in the main deck for Search for Azcanta, red, white, and blue aggro. So she's good against all the aggro decks in this format. The American way. There's not any green or black aggro right now. Not any green or black aggro in the format at the moment. This hand is a little bit slow, but I think it's a keep. The Riverwise Augur was kind of middling, but it's just like a fine 4-drop to pot up into a 5. I am still accepting deck submissions, J-Ray. So remember, War doesn't release on Arena until like April 25th. So the things that are in the deck queue now, plus just like... I'm probably going to have time to do another 30 or 40 decks plus what's in the deck queue now between now and the next thing happens. Because I play even with my slowed down, with slightly less hours, I'm still playing, you know, let's say 20 to 25 decks a week. Wilson Vita, thank you for the 12 months of support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Have a sword to go with your shield. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. You have counterspells? I guess we did dumpster them with Planeswalkers last game, so I guess I'm not too surprised to see counterspells.
I didn't live through hell to lose to you.
I didn't live through hell to lose to you. Huh. So do I... How aggressive do I want to be here? So, like... I could shock to 6, play my own Vivien, then I go to 3, and then I could shock to 1 and play Vraska plus Trophy the following turn. I'm probably supposed to just Trophy plus Mortify this turn, huh? I think I just want a Trophy plus Mortify.
Not again.
And, like, even if they play, like, a Krasis next turn, I then just, like, play Vivien, shoot it down. Yeah, that's a fair assessment, Steric. Being aggressive with their whole total when there's the Night Reapers around is bad. I do have Trostani tokens that gain a little bit of life too, though. I think I should just clean their board out. Because, like, playing my card advantage there in addition to hammering my health total from taking another attack, it also leaves their Vivien in play. And, like, should they have a negate to protect their Vivien next turn, I end up in a lot of trouble. I think it's right to just, like, clear things out here and be conservative. Did they DC? They just used a timeout. Maybe they had something come up. Can you do mod things on mobile? You can. Get that out of there. So ideally, we want them to just play one threat next turn, so that way I can play a Planeswalker and neutralize that threat. If they play multiple things next turn, I might just go tapped land Trostani. Alright, let's find out if they have another counterspell here. They do, that's unfortunate. Oh. Ooh, that's good. Shoot that one. They get to memorial something back here. Even if they kill Vraska at this point, she got generated a 2-for-1 because she killed one of their things. No memorial, no removal on Vraska. That seems real good for us.
Every fight, balance comes.
Do I want to sack a land? I'm not sure that I do. I think I'm going to decline here. Correct. Ads do not show for subs.
Meet my newest friend.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. I totally realized that that was about to happen. That was definitely something that was on my radar, and I realized that was going to occur when I played my 5-drop. Regazoo, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think even with that non-bow, I'm supposed to play both of these cards. I shouldn't have played the Trostani that turn. That turn I should not have played the Trostani. I should have played the Seraph of the Scales.
Like I do.
But I do think these cards are worth playing in the same deck. I should have played Seraph last turn because of that. I deserve that. I deserve that. Oh, why didn't you leave up? Oh, I should pay more attention. I can't play Midnight Reaper. Yikes. Yikes. It's fine. Our opponent is, like, experiencing the greatest flood ever. I agree, Dude Light. I think that it's reasonable to have both of those in my deck at the same time. I needed to be conscious of it because I could have played my cards in a better order to get less punished for it existing. Vivien alt do it gives 2 Vivien alt do Vivien alt All right, let's get 2 Memorial to Follies in here. Get the second Memorial to Folly in here. Definitely better than, Folly. Better than Glory, I think. So, I liked the numbers of colors that I had going on. So I just cut a white source for a black source. So that means I want to cut a black source for a white source somewhere else. So if I cut Woodland Cemetery and add a Sunpetal Grove, it does that, right? Turns a green-black dual into a green-white dual, so that keeps me on 16 white sources still. Is that the correct number? Do I want 16 white? I want white and black pretty early. Hey, 15 black, right? 5, 8, 15. That's probably fine. 16, 16, 15, 14. The green, I don't need green till later on average. Seems reasonable. Well, thanks for being here, Giddle, and thanks for the sub-gifties again today. Alright, let's export that change. It's been a hot second since I've added standard decks to my website. I'm gonna get some artwork done for this deck as well as the or what's it called deck? The Vanifear deck, I think. Did you see your rap feature on YouTube I posted on Discord? I did not. Alright. Being on the draw here is a little bit scary, but I think overall this matchup's pretty reasonable for us. Especially with our Kaya here in the opener. Oh, she does get countered. Hero on 2 does mean that even if our opponent has a lot of anti-interaction, we're going to be able to kind of push through and race. Attack with this to start. I'm going to play a tap land and pass here, I think. I think there's a good chance that they counter this anyways. But I guess they might just go get the land. I'm going to let this happen. If they don't play anything else out that's meaningful, I'm going to trophy this at end of turn. But if they play something like that, now I'll trophy that. And this way, if they protect it at end of turn, well, then untap and Mortify and it'll be gone. And we'll be winning this race here because we'll have 4 power in play. So even if they protect this with something out of their hand, and if they protect it with Siren Storm Tamer, they're down to just 1 power to our 4 power, which again, one of the best ways to beat this mono blue deck isn't just strictly interacting, it's by racing while you do so. You need to pressure them out of the game. So this is an excellent setup for us here. And then next turn, I actually get to play Kaya through Spell Pierce with the Sunpetal Grove up, which will add a 5th power to play and give us a way to gain some life here, which is nice. Oh, that's exciting. I'm actually going to start on that then. Am I? If they have creature counterspell plus a Spell Pierce, I feel a little bit sad here. But now, like, even if they pierce Kaya, I, like, have made another token. It feels a little bit bad to maybe play into a Spell Pierce I didn't strictly have to, but, like, it gives me so much power in play here. Like, we just hit any other multicolored card next turn. We're in an amazing spot. We're actually pretty far ahead here, sans Tempest Jin. Or Scary Terry, yeah. It's got a whole lot of nothing going on. Do. This is a Duress, Moment of Craving, Kaya, Trophy, Tristani, Vivien come out, Midnight Reaper comes out. That's actually pretty clean. So even though Vivien, this is a card I hear a lot of talk about in this matchup, even though Vivien has a meaningful text box in terms of, like, what she's removing, I think she's not worth having in, just because anytime your Vivien gets Spell Pierced or Dovin down, the tempo exchange on it is just too negative to keep you in the game. Yeah, I do need to cut one more card here. I think it's Mortify. It's Mortify or the 4th Duress, one of the two. Duress is probably resource efficient enough to keep them all in. Maybe Golgari Queen, just drag my curve down. I think it's this, or this. I like that Night of Autumn helps us race, but yeah, maybe that's the cut. Yeah, I like that, actually. Let's trim that. This is just, like, just okay. Especially on the draw, I think Duress is important, because it's important that we start interacting and generating double spell turns as soon as possible. Duress on turn 3 to 4 with Duress into a removal spell in the same turn is big game. Seems very reasonable. Yeah, I agree, Dude Light. I think we have a lot of good tools to win this matchup. Like, this is going to be a good example of being able to poke through here. So I'm going to shock in this Temple Garden. And I'm going to Assassin's Trophy this Mistcloak Herald on their next turn. And then the turn after that, I can Duress them plus Moment of Craving. Actually, do I trophy the Curious Obsession? I'm going to trophy the Curious Obsession because it demands a more specific answer, and I really don't care about the 1/1. This means Dive Down doesn't protect their enchantment. And they have a negate. So now they need 2 pieces of 1-mana interaction to beat me next turn, because I get to Duress one of them and then play a removal spell. And I let on Assassin's Trophy rather than Moment of Craving, because I'd rather Assassin's Trophy get countered. Because this one gives them a land, which gives them more tools to work with. Alright, kill your thing in response. Is this their only target for the Duress? Unless that's the only target for the Duress, so that's a bad use of their Dive Down there. Because now I basically got a 2-for-1 with my Duress because I had the removal spell. That's a little bit inefficient use of my opponent's resources there. We are missing a land drop here, but we're still in a pretty good spot. We're going to take a lot of pressure to the table really quick. If we draw a white source, we're going to be... Draw a white source, we're like off to the races pretty firmly. Yeah, Baffling End's about the only card I can think they play around with that line. And it could just be that they think they're far enough behind that, like, that's a line they have to take, which is, like, not unreasonable. Man, I really like this deck. It's kind of awesome. Hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Just jam Vraskas down their throats. Well, so part of the problem with 4-mana Vraska is that building your deck in a way to leverage her +2 isn't easy or free.
It's time to step out of the shadows.
So, like, she isn't just, like, I really like Planeswalkers like Golgari Queen and Domri and these others, because, like, Planeswalkers like Vivien and Teferi, they're kind of boring in a lot of ways. They're just like these cookie-cutter Planeswalkers that it's always correct to be playing them if you're in their colors. Whereas, like, Vraska and these other ones, you have to build around them or have the format be in the right spot to make them good. Yeah, Vraska's good here because Hero is giving us she's giving us a way to leverage the Hero tokens. Also, one of the nice things about Vraska, and we saw this in the Sultai matchup, is that Vraska helps you not flood out. Vraska is a tool that gives you something to do with your excess lands too in the mid-range matchups, which is a big deal. So they get to Fart Terry this turn, which makes a big scary blocker, but if I attack with everything, they still take 8, so that seems good for us. Yeah, we are on 25 lands. I kicked it up to 25 after we played our first match today. Do you have a copy of Sleep? Or is this a concession attack? They just have Tricky Dick? They could have Tricky Dick. I think this is a concession attack. I think this is a, I'm gonna smack your Vraska, or I have an attack with my creature's quest.
coming until it's too late.
That was, that's some good clean living. Some good clean living. Let's play one more. Like this deck a lot. It's got a lot of good tools to go in a lot of directions. I feel like it's pretty rare. To have a deck that can be as good against aggro as this deck is, while also being able to grind against Sultai in this format. That's the real struggle. In my experience, decks that don't die to aggro tend to struggle against Sultai. I don't think this is keepable, right? I guess if I draw just like any mix of spells, it's okay. The double Vivien and no second green feels really bad. I'm on the play though. I'm gonna keep this on the play, I think. I definitely wouldn't fault someone more conservative for mulliganing this hand. Yeah, yesterday was nice. Got to head to the gym for a little bit early. All right, it's a 5th land, but at least it guarantees we get to play Vivien on 5. Turn 1 elves. Wonder if we're gonna play another Sultai matchup. I kind of queued up again because I wanted to try and find a matchup that wasn't Sultai. All right, sweet, not Sultai. God bless. Yeah, this deck has a lot of tools for the enchantment matchups, which there are a lot of in this format. The fact that this deck gets to play Assassin's Trophy is really huge too, because Assassin's Trophy is a card that kills Flip Search for Azcanta. I think this matchup's probably okay for us in general, but it definitely doesn't feel great when we don't have any plays. And again, like, wouldn't have faulted anyone for mulliganing this hand. Alright, here's hoping they play a dragon post-combat so we can play Vivien and shoot it. Low 1 life. Thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Rats. I like them farting this off right away so I don't get a chance to interact with it. Alright, so they need Collision Colossus to kill Vivien. If they spend Collision Colossus killing Vivien, I'm kind of okay with that. We're going to need to try and grind through these Growth Chamber Guardians, though, which could be a challenge. Oh, that's haste. Gosh, Riot is good.
Not dead yet.
So I'd love to draw a removal spell for this Growth Chamber Guardian. JK, they just have all of them. There's a small chance that if Hero survives, we could chain enough multicolored removal together to stabilize the board, but definitely not looking good for the home team. Block here, jump here, probably take 8. So hoping for, like, Assassin's Trophy here, I think. Okay. That is better than a bread box. I'm not blocking with this, right? So I might as well attack. I actually didn't remember that was in our deck, and that was our best draw. So if they are out of gas, we've stabilized the board, and then Vivien's going to take things over for us. We did beat Sultai. We've not lost a match with this yet today. Let's tap, so we leave green, black up here in case we hit an Oligarch. For a 2-drop creature.
Wild animals I like. You can't stop nature.
Did I play a land yet this turn? I didn't, right? Deal. Pelt collectors are kind. I guess it's not that medium because they get to do this. And then, like, the Pelt Collector grows up. So I'm going to lose 1 life in this because I gain 4 from the lifelink tokens. Take 4, lose 1 from Midnight Reaper trading. And then, hopefully, if my draw steps plus Vivien are good, we can be okay here. So we're going to end up at 7. This is going to be another 4-4, though. That's a good one. That's a great one.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
It's time to carve it out of existence.
And then Vraska gets to start pulling us away from a dangerous health total. That was something. That was something. Yeah, they conceded. Trophy sounds good here. I don't know that I want to cut all the Midnight Reapers, but at least one seems like a good cut. I don't think this is a Moment of Craving matchup. I think Kaya's okay because they have Pelt Collector and Land War Elves. Is Kaya worse than Moment? Kaya's probably worse than Moment, huh? I want to leave these in because they definitely have dragons in their deck. They definitely have Phoenix in their deck, which makes Kaya a little bit better. I think I'm going to keep the Kayas because they have. I'm going to cut the Tithe Takers and bring the Moments in. This also keeps our multicolored spell count about the same, which is ideal. Hey, Ski, thanks for the Prime support. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Welcome, welcome. I think this looks good. Let's give this a try. Sure. When do we bring in Ajani, if not against other creature decks? Ajani is a card that generates value and applies pressure against control decks. So Ajani comes in against Sultai midrange, and it comes in against Esper. Think of Ajani as a card that brings your 2-drops back to the battlefield. It's not good against aggro. It's a card that helps you recover and generate. It grinds more, basically. No blocks. Our curve is kind of disgusting here. It's going really well, Erebus. We started the day at 96%, and we're currently 237. I want to just use this to cut off Growth Chamber Guardian's advantage. This does mean if they have a Lava Coil, they can kill my Vraska, but if they had Lava Coil, they would have used it on the Midnight Reapers. That means they have to draw it this turn. Honestly, Sharp, it might be a just wait and see if we can ride out. Like, if we win this match, and it's looking like we might, it might put us into top 200, and we might just be able to sit on top 200 through the end of the month. There's that Phoenix that we left Kaya's in for. And the elf we left Kaya's in for, really. And the Pelt Collector that Kaya's okay against. I think I'm actually just gonna gain 4 with this. Just looking for any of our sources of card advantage at this point. Vraska or whatnot. We've had enough. 188. This deck needs an exile effect other than Kaya. I don't think that's true. The other thing you have to remember is, like, this deck draws a lot of cards. So, like, you can just 2-for-1 the Phoenix. You can, like, trade 2 removal spells or, like, trade with it in combat with, like, your Sarah and then spend a removal spell on it. Yeah, so the first time we played this deck, we had Find Finality in it, and the card was really unimpressive. I'm actually super happy with where we ended up at. It felt like not only, and not just because we won a lot of matches today, but like when we're sitting there sideboarding, the things I was thinking about like bringing in and cutting out, it was pretty smooth overall for like what things I wanted to cut and things I wanted to bring in most of the matches. So if you're looking for something kind of sweet, I really like this deck. If you didn't see all the matches we played with this today, we played a match against Sultai earlier where we won by decking them just because we ran them out of threat. So if you like sweet grindy Magic and you didn't catch that, you're definitely going to want to see it on the replay later tonight when this goes up on my YouTube channel. With that, we're going to go ahead and slide along to another hero show. Actually, we've got blue-white hero coming up next, which I believe is a Dovin's